in the teens when I was in the early 70s, and yeah, there was about 5 of us sat in circle, and the rest were taught different things from the Lyceum manual, and it was didn't go down well. The younger ones were too young, to be honest, and they didn't like. Good morning, everybody. My name is Ray Robinson, for those who don't know me, and I am the president of the Wimbledon Spiritualist Church, along with my wife Jackie, and we extend a warm and loving welcome to you. Because of the snow, we're not at Wimbledon this morning. We're doing it from my front room in my little flat, or our little flat, because Jack does live here as well. And so please hope everything goes well. I'd like to extend a warm and loving welcome to Ashley Mills, who's no stranger to Wimbledon Spiritualist Church. She also works at her own church at Walton-on-Thames. Ashley, good morning and welcome.
Good morning, and thank you very much for inviting me to serve this morning.
Thank you very much. It was lovely seeing you the other week when Ashley demonstrated at Walton. So it was nice. You've done lots of nice changes at Walton Church as well.
Yeah, thank you very much. Much appreciated.
That was sound condescending, but it looked good. It looks nice.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Can I ask you to open with prayer, Ashley?
Certainly. Welcome to all those joining us. If you'd like to close your eyes, bow your heads, whatever is most comfortable. Divine Spirit, Mother, Father, God, we thank you for allowing us to join together in your name, wherever we are, whatever time zone we're in, helping us to open our hearts and minds to your love, your healing, and your wisdom. We ask a blessing on all the family, friends, neighbours, animal companions, colleagues represented here. May anyone receive healing according to their need. We also ask for a blessing on all those providing care. May their thoughts and their actions be guided by divine will and love. We know that all that will be said during this service will be for the highest truth and in the highest name. Amen.
So mote it be. Thank you, Ashley. Thank you very much indeed. Now, friends, keeping that prayerful thought, I would ask you to continue your prayers and thoughts towards absent healing or distant healing. And we've got a number of names to ring out here. We're calling and asking prayers for little Felix, Jill, Amber, Mickey, for Bill, who's getting ready to pass to the Spirit, and his family to support, Margaret, Kelly and Stephen, Rachel, Pam, Bernie and family, and Martin. We ask God's blessing upon those people, and in praying for all those names, we also extend our love and our prayers to you all out there in the virtual church service this morning. And we also ask for all those who administer healing, doctors, nurses, therapists, healers, all. May they be blessed and continually blessed by their work. And we bless and ask for prayer for the leaders of the nations to find a way to distributing the vaccine for those who want it, but more important, to help those in need. We ask this prayer in thy name, so mote it be. Right, can we all now say that God grant me the serenity? God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Thank you, friends. I will just point out that those who wish to be able to donate to Wimbledon Spiritualist Church, you donate via PayPal, which is at paypal.com, pay me LAD promotion, which is an arm an arm to Wimbledon Spiritualist Church, and you don't have to have a PayPal account to do this. You can just donate to the church if you wish to. A number of the church regulars have donated via direct debit and continue to do so. I extend that big thanks to you all. But those who can donate, please do. Like all spiritualist churches around the country, we need money in our bank to pay our gas and electric, and we've just had a gas bill in for £600. So it's a bit of a shock, but it's here and now. So I'm going to pass over to Jackie in a moment. I just want to say hello to a few names on the screen. Yeah, just going to do that. Yeah. First and foremost, happy birthday to Shirley Monaco. She's one of our regular members at Wimbledon Church. Her and Shirley and Jackie, we've known each other for over 30 years. She's the only one that don't stop talking at church. She loves a good chat and chatter, and I know how much she's missing the church. So happy birthday. Morning, James. How are you? And it's your birthday this week. Christine Woodham from Spain. Hello, how are you? Phil Shaw, good morning. Claire from Italy, good morning. Hope you're well. Rita, good morning. Welcome to you back to church. Christine Davis, good morning and welcome. It's snowy here in Mitcham. Christine, good morning again. Hope you're well. Daniela from Venice, good morning. Is it snowing in Venice, Daniela? Happy, joy. Happy, good morning. Morning, happy birthday, girl. How are you? Lots of love, Shirley, to you, and we look forward to meeting up. Lorna Lulu, welcome. Good morning. Beanie, good morning. It's lovely to see you. Kim, good morning to you as well. Kim from Mosper Park, good morning, Kim. How are you? Hope you're well, and hope your family are all well. Happy birthday, Shirley, again. And Petra, good morning. You look very snowy where you are this morning when I saw you on Facebook. Kathy, good morning. From Zimbabwe, good morning, Kathy. Hope you have a great day. I bet it's not snowing in Zimbabwe. Terry Wall, good morning and welcome. Elaine Macy, good morning to you. Ruth Townsend as well. One more, I think, and then Sylvia, good morning. I'm just going to hand over to Jackie now, who's going to give the reading for the day.
Good morning to all of you, and to say to Cheryl, I'm wearing some of the beads that you've made to sparkle in honour of your birthday. Now, the reading I've chosen this morning is from the Spiritualist Manual that's issued by the National Spiritualist Association of Churches of the United States of America. And the first edition of this book came out in 1911, but it has some wonderful readings and some wonderful invocations and prayers, and is a real treasure for ministers. If you can get hold of a copy of this, it really has everything in it that you could ask for. And the reading I've chosen is called Power of Spirits. How great the power of spirits, a host of invisible intelligences, exalted and wise, surround us everywhere. They cause men to purify their hearts and rectify their lives. They are everywhere, beside us, around us, above us. Millions of spiritual beings walk the earth unseen, both when we wake and when we sleep. All these, with ceaseless praise by day and by night, behold the work of the infinite intelligence and adore them. Are they not all ministering spirits sent forth to minister to those who walk in the light and to save those who walk in darkness? Yea, the angel attend the pure in heart and surround them with a halo of light and melody. They come to lead the weary pilgrims from the rude scenes of this life to the mansions of the blessed. They come to guide the erring one and to win his heart. They breathe a holy calm into the wounded heart The glory of thy presence dissipates the darkness of this world. Who are these angel ministers? They are the wise and the good of every age, of every land, who come laden with love to bless, cheer and comfort sorrowing mankind. Under their loving tuition, our spiritual senses may be unfolded so that they both appear and speak to us. O angels of light and wisdom, we solicit your presence with us this day, that you may illumine our minds, quicken our understanding, warm our hearts, and strengthen our adherence to truth. May your light drive away the mists of doubt and superstition from our minds, so that the light of the divine truth may be with ours forever. Something for us to think of this snowy morning, with the promise of spring not too far into the future. And now it's my pleasure to be able to introduce Ashley, who will now give us her address.
Thank you very much. Very, very interesting week we've had. A lot of changes in the world, and I'm sure I speak for all of us that we hope that going forward they will be positive changes. Something I got the day of the American inauguration was just a quick message called Brilliant You. Who knows what can be achieved if our motivation is peace? Who knows what can be healed if our medicine is love? Who knows what can be resolved if our language is forgiven? Who knows how far we can go if our fuel is perseverance? Our soul is limitless potential, ready and willing to absorb the lessons of our incarnate spirit's experience. And spirit really, spirit really want us to get the most of our life in the physical. There isn't a right or wrong, it's just learning, it's just growth.
Okay.
So one thing that spirit want me to say is, give yourself a break. Don't be so hard on yourself. If you think you've made a mistake, it's still valuable learning. But also give yourself a pep talk. Keep yourself going forward. Don't wait for others to congratulate you. Congratulate yourself, even for small things, especially in these strange times. It could just be getting up and ready for the day. That's a big achievement for you personally. Do not judge your journey by other people's. Make sure you only focus on your own footsteps going forward, and you will feel stronger and more grateful for how far you've come. Thank you.
Thank you, Ashley. Thank you very much indeed. We're now going to come to that part of the service where Ashley will demonstrate the gifts of the Spirit. If Ashley should speak to you, when you're replying, please clearly reply what you're saying yes to or no to. And I know Ashley will do her utmost to clarify everything as best as she can. There is sometimes a 15-second delay, or most of the time there's a 15-second delay. So please type as quick as your little finger can, and so Ashley knows where she is with this. So I hand back over to Ashley Mills, who will demonstrate the gifts of the Spirit. Thank you, Ashley.
Thank you, Ray. Okay. The first communicator that wishes to speak today is a gentleman on a grandfather energy, and I'm getting the impression he would have passed very suddenly through cardiac arrest. And I do feel that he passed in the UK for all those coming on internationally. And I get the sense that this gentleman was a tall gentleman, very good head of hair, even though it looked grey, almost white. And I also feel that this gentleman was very well read. I'm not necessarily calling him academic, but I get the impression he was well read on the interests and the subjects that were important and pertinent to him. He's also making me aware of the number 22. Now, this could be a birth date. It could also be part of an address, if that helps to place. So if anyone can understand this information, please say, but I'll keep going otherwise. This gentleman was very much a man's man. I see that the car that he drove, he would have taken great pride in. So it wasn't just a quick wash like we would normally do for necessity's sake. It is very much his pride and joy. He would have taken great care of not only its appearance, but also its running. So he would have kept it well and maintained it well, because he did that with his own body. And he was the sort of gentleman. Thank you. I can't see the first part of your name, but I can see Fleming as a surname on my screen. So do please listen to the rest of it. This gentleman's saying that we've got to take care of our physical bodies as much as the objects that help us go forward in our lives, our transport. So this is a message to you about doing what you need to do to take time and care of your physical body. That includes getting sufficient rest and repletion of your energy, getting the right food and nutrition, but also on an emotional and spiritual level, making sure that you are only conscious and aware of things that restore your soul. So trying to muffle or blot out the negativity and the fear around you. Very, very important. I can't actually see some of the screen about what people are writing. I can literally just see the right hand half of the comments. There we go. Okay, car rules, you're out. So if I just ask, thank you very much, that's fine. So if I just keep going and ask anyone else to listen, because the car, I definitely see that this gentleman would have given it a wax as well as just a wash. So yeah, he definitely took pride in his vehicle. Okay, Stace, is that Stace Shaw? All right, thank you very much for confirming that, Stace. This was a very conscientious gentleman in everything he did. Very mindful of his thoughts, his words, and his actions, and how people responded to those. And so this is also part of your message, being mindful of how people hear and respond to what you do. And that's not a judgment or a criticism on his part of anything you've done wrong. It's just being mindful that sometimes how we think things or how we say things aren't how people hear them and reciprocate them. But what he is saying is, if you always act with the positive intention, then you've done your bit. Okay, thank you very much, Stace. He's also bringing me to crystals for you, please. So I don't know whether you've already got some or whether it's a need to tend to them and cleanse them. But he's saying that crystal energy can help the energy in your environment. It helps to balance and neutralize any negativity. So for further information, I would look up the properties of the crystals you've already got and possibly beneficial ones to get in the future. He's taking me to an image of a diary, so I don't know whether you're already very good at planning ahead, but he's saying even if you haven't got a lot on, still schedule your time. So time to catch up on correspondence, a time to do things for yourself, a time to do things that you enjoy. Even if you haven't got a lot of work on, pocketing and consciously diarizing that self-care time is still incredibly valuable. And he's giving you the number 7 as being significant. So I don't know, again, whether that's to do with a birth date or an address that's significant, or it could be to do with the month of July. But I will leave that for you to understand how that connects with you. But it's just an acknowledgement of something pertinent at this time. He's also saying, check in with friends, but don't take on their burdens and concerns. We can listen, we can show empathy, but he doesn't want you burdened with other people's things that aren't your power to have a control over or to resolve. You're not there to be that beast of burden. So please take his love, and I will say bless you. Okay, thank you, Stace, for acknowledging that message. Oh, bless. Thank you for that, Stace. Okay, so the next communicator I feel is coming through is a lady on an aunt vibration. Okay, I feel that she wasn't very old when she passed. I don't want to put her older than her 40s. She's still got her natural blonde hair, and I don't feel it was much below her shoulder length. I do feel she had quite clear, bright eyes. She's not showing me exactly whether they were blue or green, but I don't feel that they were brown. They were clear eyes and very bright eyes. And I feel that when she laughed, when she did things to enjoy herself, her eyes showed it. She had a real twinkle in her eyes. So if that links with anyone, do please say. I'm getting the name Julie, so I don't know whether it is the communicator's name or the name of someone that this communicator is wishing to give a message to. But it's only fair that I pass that on. You're very welcome, Stace. For more information about this new communicator, I feel that she would have had a real thirst for life. She enjoyed her life and she didn't apologize for making the most of her life. She worked hard and she played hard. She loved get-togethers with friends, would have quite happily arranged an impromptu party and a get-together with friends if there wasn't one planned, if she felt that not only herself but others needed that lift. And she's talking about someone being in the doldrums, and that's a very interesting phrase because it's not one that we very often use or hear these days. So I may be going back with this lady, and it could be that she passed a while ago, but around the 30s and 40s age. I do feel very feminine with this lady. I do feel as if she liked flowers around her. She would have been very happy, for instance, wearing blouses or skirts with flower patterns on. And when she went walking, she would have enjoyed seeing flowers around. I'm also getting the sense that she was a very capable lady. So whatever work she did, other people respected her ability and her capability for doing that work. I'm not getting the sense that this lady ever married, if that helps to place the lady. So I do feel she was a single lady, but on an aunt vibration. That could be aunt by marriage, by blood, or a friend of mum and dad's that was like an aunt, that this recipient would have grown up calling auntie. She was also a great animal lover, if that helps to place. And she's making me aware that she grew up with animals. No, creative living, don't worry if it's not her name that I mentioned. Whenever spirit give names, it's not always their name. It could be a name of someone that connects to her or someone that you know that just helps to place who we're giving the message to. But thank you for acknowledging that. So I'll carry on linking with you, creative living. This lady is talking about, even in difficult times, Okay. Thank you. I'm just reading your message. She's just making me aware of feeling very connected to lots of people. Okay. So whether it was her own children or other people's children, she was equally motherly to them, equally caring, equally empathic towards them. She would have taken time to speak to them and listen to what they wanted to say to her, even if other adults didn't. No, the July was with the previous person, Creative Living. Sorry, I don't know your actual name. Okay. All right. Okay. Okay, thank you. Okay. If how she was making me feel that she was unmarried was incorrect, I apologize, but that was the sense I was getting. It could be that someone around you then is having concerns about a marriage or a relationship. Okay. Because I'm getting the image of not seeing a wedding ring. So it could be that someone's either got concerns about a relationship or concerns of changes in a relationship. But she wants you to feel very much in control of what you can do. And it's lovely that Ray read the Serenity Prayer at the start of the service, because I've been mentioning that prayer to lots of people recently. Focus on what you can do rather than what you can't. And then it helps you stop being overwhelmed. And I think that's the overriding message for you there. Okay. She's talking about smiling at the little things. It doesn't matter. Okay. Thank you, Desiree. So that's where the no wedding ring came in. Okay, thank you very much. She's talking about not worrying whether people understand your reasons for smiling. It could be very insignificant in their eyes, but it doesn't matter. If that's giving you the one reason to smile in the day, don't be ashamed about smiling or having a laugh, and that inner lifting and feeling of joy and gratitude. Very, very important in these times, just to acknowledge the little things that lift us up and keep us going. Because she says it's like the cherry on the top of a pudding. Okay. And that was your message from this lovely lady. I'm just going to ask the next communicator to come in. Okay, suddenly got a very, very strong-minded lady coming through with this next communicator. I feel very much on a teaching level. I don't know whether this was children or adults that she taught, but very strong, very assertive mindset, very well organized, very confident in her own capabilities with this new communicator. I feel this lady had short dark hair when she was alive, this new communicator. And I'm getting the sense with this new lady that she's talking about the recipient of this message reading through things, okay, checking things over, giving due diligence. And that's interesting because that's quite a legal term, but she's talking about really reading through things and checking the details, not letting any small details catch you out. So the recipient of this next message needs or is currently looking over some form of paperwork or important items, and wanting to make sure that they fully understand what is contained within that piece of information or documentation, in order to be clear about it before they make any further and future decisions. Okay, thanks for letting me know. So I'll just carry on. The lady that's communicating now, very strong character. I wouldn't say she was an in-your-face character, but she was very capable of sticking up for her thoughts, her decisions and beliefs, and wanting to encourage other people to stick up for themselves. She had a very strong sense of justice. So I don't know whether there's a Libran link there, whether it's symbolic or whether it's literal. But if she didn't have legal members of the family around her, she was certainly aware of legalities, even though she initially came forward on a teaching vibration. Okay, thank you, Michelle. It really glad that you can understand that right now. She's just saying it's very easy sometimes when there's a lot of information to take on board to want to skim over things rather than take the time to really read each bit. Okay, lovely. So she's saying even if it takes longer in little portions of time, give it the time and attention it needs and deserves so that you fully understand what is included and involved. Okay, this lady, even if to people that didn't know her very well, she might have come across as very brusque, very forthright and a bit domineering, but the people that knew her well saw a gentler side to her. They saw that her strength was only there to help people and encourage people, encouraging them to do the right thing, to make the right choices. And that's what she's bringing forward to you at this time, Michelle. She's just saying this to encourage you to not get caught out. Okay, lovely. And it's really interesting. Now you've acknowledged that in this lady's character, it's almost like her energy is softening to respond to your acknowledgement. And she's saying she only ever wanted the best for the people she cared about. So if she could identify things that maybe they couldn't at face value, she's pointed them out to be helpful, to be of support to people is the energy with which she's giving this message. She's mentioning about the joy that the little ones are bringing at this current time. Okay. Thank you, Claire. Obviously, if you can understand the information as well, spirits sometimes use economy of effort. And it's a double link where spirit will try and reach more people in this concise period of time. But I'm glad that you can understand that as well as Michelle. Thank you for acknowledging that, Claire. But whoever can understand this message, very important that you allow that laughter, allow that the giggles that the little ones have. There's no filter with little ones. Okay. All right, thank you, Claire. But take the information that you could understand. With Michelle, almost use that laughter and the giggles that the little ones give you to boost yourself up. Use it to refill and replenish your battery to be able to keep going in these strange and difficult times that we're experiencing. Okay. All right. Thank you very much, Michelle, for that confirmation about who the communicator was. I'm just asking if there's anything else that she wants to mention at this time. She says, to thine own self be true. Okay, it doesn't matter whether people understand or agree with what you're saying and doing, but they should respect. If it's your decision to make, then you're the one that has to be happy with how you do things. Okay, if it helps or it benefits other people in the long run, as an extension of benefiting you, that is a bonus. But you shouldn't please other people at the expense of making things right for you. And thank you very much for acknowledging that, Michelle. Okay, I've got a gentleman. Oh, bless. Thank you, Michelle. I've got a gentleman coming through now, and I'm getting the sense that there was a military link with him, and he's showing me the image of a dagger. Now, I don't know whether that is part of a regimental badge or emblem. I'll be honest, I'm not very au fait with military insignias. But he is showing me the image of a dagger or a sword. Okay, you're welcome. This gentleman, the best way I can describe his character is his bark was worse than his bite. He came across, even in his home life, you would tell that he had a military link or a military training, because he was very organized, he was very methodical. He liked schedule. He felt at ease knowing what was going to happen. So he's very thankful that he isn't dealing with this current situation on the physical plane, because it would have thrown him not having the schedule that he thrived on and did his best with. So the person that this connects to is someone that needs to be mindful of having a framework in order to help them go forward. Okay, Ruth, thanks for acknowledging that. I'll ask for some more information to clarify if it is with you. He's showing me a tan-coloured dog. I feel it was a terrier, quite a short, wiry-haired dog. Now, this might have been a dog from any part of his life, or it might be a dog that's around you now. But I'm seeing a tan or a light brown coloured dog with wiry hair. I don't know all the breeds, but I'm getting a sense from him it's from the terrier group of dogs. And he's talking about striding out. This is whether on a symbolic level or a literal level, putting your best foot forward, having the right boots, the right things that you take out with you for the day. Okay, thanks, Ruth. Oh, bless. Yes, it's not easy. Okay, if you can understand that, Terry, do please keep listening. So whoever can understand the information, just keep listening. This gentleman's talking about having a good solid set of boots, whether literal or symbolic, having the right things with you for the day to stride out so that there's no self-doubt about or second guessing yourself about what you may need. If you plan ahead, you'll have the right tools for the job, he's saying. So whatever you've got going on in your day, try and plan so that you're not rushing around last minute in order to get things ready. And he says that will always help your energy levels and your stress levels, because then you can carry on as planned. You're not worried, you're not concerned. He wants the recipient of the message to breathe easier. I'm getting the sense that the recipient of the message has had a feeling of tight chest, whether that is on a literal level or a symbolic level, feeling under pressure, feeling other people are trying to persuade or coerce them in a different direction that their gut is telling them to go. This is the feeling and the information that this gentleman is giving me with this message. He's very mindful that the communicator always tries to do what they can when they anticipate things going forward, but also it's almost like they've got an emergency supply of things, so that if things do come up at the last minute or things they weren't planning for, that they can still manage to go forward and carry on, maybe not at the same level they were hoping to, but they don't let obstacles stop them, is what he's saying. It's almost like there's a box of things they may need if things come up unplanned or at the last minute, so that they can still get on with the situation. Okay, Terry, bless you. Well, first of all, please know that the reason why he mentioned about the breathing, he's around, he understands, and he's sending healing from spirit to you. But please be mindful that you can also help yourself. The more we consciously focus on our breathing, we can slow it down. The more we focus on the positives, he's saying, we can have a level of ownership over our breathing rate, our heart rate, and our stress levels. Because he did a lot of that within that training. Okay, I'm glad you can understand that too, Ruth. So again, lovely that Spirit are using economy of effort so that more people can understand the communication. But a beautiful, beautiful soul, this gentleman. Even though he wasn't a very tactile gentleman, he had a heart of gold. Everything he did was with his family in mind. Everything he strived for was to try and make things better going forward for his loved ones. Okay. Oh, bless you, Terry. But please know that a spirit are around you. Spirit are trying to help you with everything that you're currently going through. Okay. He's saying dig deep into those reserves, and he's asking me to mention a quote from Eleanor Roosevelt. And this was a lady that was way ahead of her time. And I get the sense that this was this gentleman's generation. Eleanor Roosevelt said that women are like tea bags. You don't know how strong they are until you put them in hot water. And so certainly stressful times, difficult times, give us cause to dig deep and find inner strength, inner resilience. Absolutely, Ruth. Beautiful soul. Inner strength, inner resilience to get through the difficulties. And absolutely, this is relevant at this time. So everyone that's listening, please know that even if we don't recognize it consciously, we do have the strength to get through these times. Okay. Lots of love from this gentleman, a lot of pride for how you're dealing with this situation, Terry and Ruth. I know you can both understand what's being said. So know that Spirit acknowledge how you're doing your best, because that's all we can do. And that was your message. Just allow that gentleman to draw away and the next communicator to come in. Okay, I'm getting the sense of the next communicator being a younger man passing very quickly in an accident circumstance, as if there was an impact and something fell on him. He's not telling me exactly what type of accident, but he is telling me he passed very, very quickly at the scene. Unless Spirit give me ages, I don't like to guess ages, but I'm certainly not seeing a middle-aged gentleman as I connect with him. I do feel as if I'm just over 6 foot with this gentleman. I don't necessarily feel a lot of bulk with this gentleman's stature. I feel quite lean with him. And he's showing me in biker leathers. So I don't know whether that is important as to the accident. But he's talking about an impact to his chest and passing quickly. Phil, bless you. But he's very much asking me to mention that he passed very quickly, that there was no suffering. So if anyone is still in any doubt, if you could pass that on, he's saying that would help them to be reassured, even after all this time. And that is his exact phrasing. Even after all this time, it would give people comfort to know that there was no suffering. It happened so quickly. Okay, thank you for that confirmation, Phil. He's not showing me the accident. He's showing himself well in the bike leathers. It's almost like he doesn't want people's lasting memory of him to be of that accident. And I know you would understand that, but it's important other people understand that from his perspective, because I feel quite a happy-go-lucky character with him. He wasn't blasé, he wasn't flippant, but he just didn't let mountains grow out of molehills. And I do get the sense also from this gentleman that he always tried to encourage other people to see that it's not about the glass being half full or half empty, it's that it's refillable. Whatever you've done, whatever you've been through, you can start afresh. You can turn over the page, you can start a clean sheet, start a fresh chapter. Okay, keep listening, Anne. So again, if other people can understand the communication, that's a positive. But I do feel I'm with Phil. He's absolutely saying that he didn't let something completely stop him in his tracks. Quite an eloquent gentleman, very good conversationalist. The things that he enjoyed, the things that he dealt with in daily life, he was very good at having detailed conversations with people. A very interesting person to talk to with this gentleman. Even if you weren't as au fait with the subjects and the knowledge that he had, you would still have found his conversation interesting. And one thing that's very, very important is he showed interest in other people. So he liked to know what they enjoyed, what made them tick. So it was very much a blending of mutual acknowledgement and mutual support. Always trying to see the best of a situation and the best in people. He wouldn't have let other people interrupt in conversations, even if he was in a group of people, for instance, at a party or a gathering. If he was talking to someone one-to-one and someone else came up, he would have just said, hang on a sec, I'll be with you in a minute. And he would have finished the conversation with the person he was already talking to. He really liked to give that person his full time and attention. And then he would allow that conversation to naturally end and move on to chatting with someone else. He's giving me rainbows for you, Phil. And it's really interesting that Jackie was wearing that beautiful top of rainbows. But rainbows are very symbolic for you, Phil, about positivity and all the different energy vibrations that each of those colors can give us. So no one color is less or worse than the others. It's the harmony of all of them that give that strength and positivity. And it's really interesting. He's asking me to mention this because it is relevant. When I had a trip many years ago to Peru, that the rainbow spectrum is actually the Inca flag. The Incas used rainbows as being very, very symbolic. So they may be an old South American Inca link for you, Phil, going forward, if you're not already aware of that. So Spirit, always mention little things if there is a relevance. Okay, beautiful. But he's saying about breathing in those colors. So whether it's the start of the day or when you're feeling low of energy, feeling a bit depleted, breathe in each of those rainbow colors in succession. Okay. And then allow it to fill your whole auric field and it will bolster you. That's the phrase he's using. It will bolster you and reinvigorate you going forward. But he's giving you a salute and he's saying, you're doing all right. You're doing all right. And I will say bless you and thank you for acknowledging that message. Just allowing that gentleman to step back and allow the next communicator to step forward. Beautiful, beautiful energies today, everyone. I hope that at some level you can feel the strength and the love that is coming from Spirit to each and every one of you tuning in at this time, because there is so much love from Spirit coming to us. Okay, the first word I'm being given for the recipient of the message is hope. So I don't know whether that's symbolic or whether it's to do with a name. Bless you, Phil. Thank you. But the word very, very clearly, it's almost like it's in flashing neon, is hope. There's someone waiting for results of some work they've been doing. So I don't know whether it's something for a qualification or an exam, but someone is waiting for results. And that's where the hope comes in, because they put so much work into doing everything for this task, that I've got a grandmother coming forward saying they absolutely deserve to be successful in every way because of the effort and the time and the persistence that they've put in to this work that they've been doing. And I do get the information that the recipient... Okay, Joe, thank you. The recipient is an adult, so it's not talking about a child or a teenager doing some work towards an achievement. It's an adult, so it could be further study, adult education, or deciding to go back to studying something for their own interests. But they've been putting a lot of effort, time and attention into that. Thank you, Tracy. Whoever can take the information, please just keep listening. Wonderful that spirits are multiplying that relevance for people today. But this beautiful, beautiful grandmother, and I absolutely want to call her a Mother Earth. You know, she just poured love. She tried to encourage everyone to do their best, because she says that's all you can do. Sometimes your best is 40% on a day. Sometimes it's 100%. But if you can look yourself in the mirror and say, at that time, with the information you had and the skills you had at that time, no one can ask more of you. Okay. In her eyes, you absolutely deserve to be successful and achieve your desired outcome. And she says, I don't care if it sounds biased because I'm a grandmother. I say it as a spirit as well. When people give time and attention to something that matters to them, they deserve to have celebration afterwards. What she's also saying is that whoever the recipient is, you taking the time to work on this particular study has also given other people confidence to take things up. Some people might think that they were a bit, quote unquote, past it, to start something fresh or start something new or go another level further with something they can already do. But you are absolutely, she's saying, shining a beacon of hope, and she's repeating that word again, an encouragement to other people that you're never, ever too old to keep learning and growing and improving your awareness, your understanding, and your capabilities. This was a lady that loved learning from other people. She was always swapping, whether it was recipes, tips, advice, and she would be someone very much like a link in the chain, would pass her knowledge on to other people as well. I feel a lot of people benefited from her example, practical life skills just as much as other important things. You know, she would have got the youngsters in the kitchen cooking with her and enjoying that experience. Oh, fantastic, Joe. Really, really pleased to hear that confirmation and awareness. And it's lovely when the recipient acknowledges what Spirit are saying, because it makes it much easier for Spirit to come through. This lady is such a cheerleader. She's absolutely in your corner, and she's never left being there for you. So whenever you feel you need to dig deep, just think of her, call on her energy and her presence, and she would absolutely be there in the blink of an eye, in a heartbeat. So much love, so much encouragement and support. And she's mentioning September as being significant. Now, a lot of times, especially when we're talking about learning, we think of September as being the start of a new school year or academic year. But she says we can start learning at any time we want. Okay, so we can always choose new starts, new beginnings. But September is significant in some way. Oh, lovely, Joe. Thank you for that acknowledgement. Okay. She's just stepping back, blowing kisses. Okay, so know that her love and her support is with you. Bless you. I'm just going to allow her to step back and close the link while I ask the next communicator to come forward. It's beautiful that there's been a very strong, constant stream of communicators to help more people receive their messages. Okay, I have another grandmother coming forward, but she's also holding an infant in her arms. Now, I don't know whether this is her infant that she lost in her lifetime or whether the recipient of the message can understand losing an infant. Now, I feel it was before full-term birth, so a miscarriage or a stillbirth. I don't feel that this infant grew up in the physical plane. Oh, bless. Thank you, Joe, for that acknowledgement. So this new grandmother that's stepping forward, infant in her hand, this infant did not survive the physical plane. Okay. Hi, Lenka. Okay, I'll just see if that information is for you. She's talking about understanding that spirits still grow up in the spirit plane, and that they will always acknowledge their earthly family, and there will always be a level of love and contact with their earthly family, even if at a soul level they choose not to have a physical existence at that particular time. Okay, thank you, Cheryl, for the acknowledgement. I'll see what other information I get. Okay, Rose, I'll keep going. I'm getting the name Lily, if that helps place the grandmother, or the name Lily that connects with any of you recipients. And also the flower lily is significant. Now, I'll be the first one to admit I'm not a flower person, and the smell of lilies is a bit overpowering for me. And she's joking about cutting off the pollen stems so that you can get the ambience of the lilies without the worry, she's saying, of the stain of the pollen on anything. Okay, thank you, Cheryl, then. Thank you for that confirmation. She's talking about it being very, very important that you keep both feet firmly on the ground, very, very grounded, very, very secure and stable at this time. Don't let anyone knock you off balance, or don't let situations knock you off balance. And that is very, very relevant at this particular time. She's saying, imagine roots growing down from the soles of your feet, anchoring you to the ground, and do things that give you grounding. So really allow your senses, your physical senses, to come to the fore. So things you can look at, things you can touch, things you can feel, things you can smell, things you can taste. So whenever there's a feeling of lightheadedness or imbalance, go back to your senses, focus on them and ground yourself. Feel very solid, very secure. Okay. Thank you for the confirmation. So as I always say, whoever can take the information, please do. But being grounded is very important, because there was a situation, I don't know whether it was a conversation or a situation that happened, and I'm being given the number 3, whether that was 3 days ago or 3 weeks ago, but very recently, a situation could have knocked you off balance, but it didn't. And that is very, very important. The recipient didn't allow the situation to completely knock you off balance. Okay. Okay, thank you for that. Okay, so I've got a few people are being told that can understand the information. I'm asking for more specific information to clarify who we're going for. I'm getting the name Sam as being significant as well. And it's Sam, not Samuel. Doesn't always have to be close family, remember, it could be friends, it could be social contacts, acquaintances, but Sam is a name that's also being given. And the month of June is also significant. I'm just being given that by this lovely lady as well. Now, it could be connected to her, or it could be connected to the recipient of the message. I'm getting a memory link of putting welly boots on. Okay, thank you for that acknowledgement, Cheryl. I'm getting the image of putting Wellington boots on and jumping in puddles, splashing in puddles. Okay, thank you, Cheryl, for that clarification on the evidence that I've just recently given. Splashing in puddles, childlike wonder, enjoying things that most people think of as toddler fun. But grown-ups can have fun too. She's talking about finding your own fun. What makes you laugh, what makes you happy, because you need laughter right now. She's saying, doesn't matter whether other people poo-poo it, and that's absolutely her phrasing, poo-pooing. She doesn't understand. She's saying it doesn't matter if people don't understand why you do things, but it's about finding laughter, having a reason to have a good giggle. She says it's okay to be childish. It doesn't hurt anyone. What makes you laugh, what makes you giggle might not be the same when you were little, but as long as it does make you laugh, that's what matters. But the image was of a little one splashing in puddles with welly boots. And interestingly, the Wellington boots are changing colours. She says they can be whatever colour you want them to be. She's also making me mindful of the image of a ruler, as if someone has to measure something or make a calculated decision. Or having to mark something out. I am aware of the time lag, so it's fine. I'm just checking that. But she's giving me the image of a ruler and putting it against something, whether that is literally measuring something or marking something out, or symbolically having to measure something or decide and make a measured risk or decision on something. She's talking about time frame, saying that if things don't work out in the time frame you had hoped originally, it's okay, because sometimes spirit have to take a little bit of extra time to assist or help us. They need that room to be creative in order to help us have an outcome that's even better than we anticipated. So if someone is being a bit frustrated that things aren't moving, or they've been having discussions that, oh, do you know what, I wish that had sorted out already. Please, she's saying, please do not worry that it hasn't been finalized or finished yet, because the extra time is about an even better outcome. Sorry. Slip of the tongue, but it could have been intentional from this lady. So if it's about abundance or monetary improvements, then if you can understand that, fair enough. There's always a reason why spirit makes mediums have a slip on the tongue. All she's confirming is don't get frustrated. Thank you, Cheryl. Don't get frustrated about time delays. It's for a very good reason. And when you get things completed, you will understand why there's been a delay. She's also giving a big bunch of tulips as she stands back with lots of love. And there are lots of different colours. I can see red tulips with the yellow edging round the petals. I can also see whole yellow tulips, and I can also see purple tulips in this beautiful bunch. It's almost like an armful, and she's giving them to you with her love, and she says, keep looking at the brightness, keep looking forward, and I'll say thank you for acknowledging the message. I think that is enough from Spirit today. I can feel them pulling back. I really appreciate everyone joining us today, and thank you for all those that acknowledged the messages and could take the information. And I hope that even if you haven't received a personal message, that you can still take some upliftment and support and encouragement from Spirit from what has been said. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ashley. Thank you very much indeed. Great to be with you once again.
Thank you very much for asking me.
Pleasure, always. As you know, you're a very great friend to Wimbledon Church, and my dad thought the world of you as a person. I know you got on well with Dad as well. So
yeah, vice versa. I always appreciated the support and encouragement that you've all given me over the years.
Great having you here once again. So thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Richard, I'd like to thank you as well for your productions this morning and all the work you're doing. Any adverts, please? ERP development training tonight readings, chat, support, and much more. And I'd also say to people, you've got any anxieties and troubles during the time, do tune into Spiritual Psychics TV. There's so much going on. This is the time I wish my Ashley was here. He does a wonderful voiceover for this. But do join. They got, and also where you can visit your spiritualist church if they've got an online service on or something. Ashley did my Ashley Robinson did a service last night up in Yorkshire, I think it was, and that was nice for them because they're having problems getting mediums to come to them because they can't get out, sort of thing. So it's important. And I know Walton-on-Thames does their best to support their church and their congregation as well. So I'd like to thank you all. We've got this Wednesday at Friendship Club at Wimbledon Spiritualist Church on Zoom, which is led by my Jackie. And just before we go, I'd just like to say a few words, if I may. I'm very aware this week is a few people going through some extra stresses and strains. There's a very good member of our church, Michelle. Her mum passed to the spirit a little while ago, and she's been going through a lot. She's been also supporting others around her and near to her. And one thing that I will share, I don't think she'll mind me sharing, one of their friends, I think it's Denise, they do online cooking together. There's 3 of them at the moment, and they do online cooking, and it's fascinating watching what they do and bits and pieces like that. I've got another friend of ours and of the church. Her dad is ready to start his continued journey into the spirit, and he's getting ready to pass. And I just wanted to share some words because, as Ashley Mills said in her address today, a lot has gone on in America this past few weeks, and most of you are probably not interested in what does go on in America. America's one of these places, I believe, if they sneeze, we get the cough and we get the flu. It affects the whole world. And one of their great spiritual leaders was a man called Martin Luther King, Dr. King. And I've been talking to another medium this week, Dawn, about it. And I just wanted to, he, as you most of you will probably know, was assassinated and he passed. But not long before he passed, I just want to share an excerpt of what he said out. Well, I don't know what will happen now. We've got some difficult days ahead. But it really doesn't matter with me because I've been to the mountaintop and I don't mind. Like anybody, I'd like to live a long life. Longevity has its place, but I'm not concerned about that now. I just want to do God's work, and he's allowed me to go up to the mountain, and I have looked over and I have seen the promised land. I may not get there with you, but I want you to know tonight that we as a people will get to the promised land. So I'm happy tonight. I am not worried about anything. I am not fearing any man, for mine eyes have seen the glory of the coming of the Lord. And I know some of you will think, well, why has he said that and why is he reading that? But it's important, very important, that during this time of lockdown, that we start to stick together, support each other. And we can't, even as psychics and as mediums and as spiritualists, we don't always see the future. We can just surmise. But we have our own troubles in this country with people thinking this about the vaccine and thinking that about the vaccine. And people are entitled to their views and opinions. But what we must stay focused on, and I mean focus on, is keeping us safe and sound. And if you want the vaccine to be able to have it, have it. If you don't want it, do not try to put other people off. I know there's a great conflict amongst the Muslim community and other Black and Asian communities. But the thing is, listen to your leaders, listen to what they're saying, and try to focus on what they're saying. Somebody said to me the other day, well, I won't have the vaccine because it means the government's going to follow me and track me. Well, if you own a car, they're following you and tracking you if they want to. If you have a phone, if they want to, they can track you. So a vaccine won't make any difference. What the vaccine will do, hopefully help you not get the virus. But if you do get the virus, help you contain it and keep it to a sensible level. Both Jackie and I have our flu jabs every year. And a couple of years ago, I had a very bad flu attack. And I was in bed for 3 or 4 days. But I came through it. And we need to all focus on this and come through it and be positive and straight. because there is so much greatness in this world. In Psalm 121 from the volume of Sacred Law called the Old Testament, it says, I will lift up mine eyes to the hills whence cometh my help, for my help cometh from the Lord. So I would ask you all, seen and unseen, to lift up your eyes to those hills, wherever you may be. Spiritually lift up your eyes to those hills, because the strength of the Spirit and the love of the Spirit will come from that peace that passes all understanding. I've had a blessed week with family and friends. Jackie here, my Jackie's been teaching online with Ethan because both mum and dad are back at work, and we've been helping Noah. Our Noah's got a prayer to learn for it when he returns to school, hopefully in the next few months. And Ethan's still doing his lessons. And we've even had a discussion over religion, Ethan and I. I think I may have just lost that one, but we had a discussion. And it's important that we stay focused and united in what we believe. There's so much will divide us. There's so much that will perhaps split us. Even within the spiritualist community, there's so much that divides us. But what does unite us is the word spiritualist. We are all spiritualists, be you a national spiritualist, Christian spiritualist, united spiritualist, any sort of spiritualist. We're united by the phrase spiritualist and spiritualism. For there is but one God, creator of the universe, unseen but ever present, but ever manifest in our creation. It's Richard that said something, the voice of the Spirit. And we need to manifest that in our lives, share that with people. And those who we can't get out to see, perhaps give them a phone call and let them know how they all are. Today is our Shirley's birthday, and I know how much Shirley loves her birthdays. We used to have cake and tea and creams, ice creams and bits and pieces on her birthday parties, and many other people's birthday parties at Wimbledon. Stephen and Kelly would make cakes and bring them there, and we'd have a laugh and a joke. And we are all missing that. I miss that. I was the first one to say to Shirley, oh, please be quiet, I want to go home. But I miss that conversation. And I know Ashley has said the same about Walton-on-Thames Church and all our communities. So I look forward to welcoming you back to our church very soon. And providing you keep within the grounds of the COVID rules and regulations, we'll have a lovely time at Wimbledon. I am passionate about people keeping in within the rules. It's very important. I especially don't want my Jackie catching the virus because of her immune system and her lungs. But I don't want any of you to catch COVID or anything that's going around at the moment, even if it's just a common cold. Because those who've had nasty colds know there's nothing common about it. It's very poorly and it's very rough to some people. Especially if it's me who's got a little splinter in his finger who cries all day. So friends, please enjoy the rest of the week. Please enjoy. Next week we've got Debs Clark as our medium, and Jackie wants to say something.
On Wednesday, just to acknowledge, we saw Deb Clark had put a note up on there to say, and so reckon that we won't need a phone call now, Debs, because we know that you've seen that you're on, her. And Ray's already texted you. So looking forward to seeing you all next week. And we're just saying Kim on screen now, and Kim joins us from the coast. I'm sure it's Kent coast is probably covered in snow. But just, you know, to keep that light within you, keep that love around you and that blessing around you until we meet next week, and know that we're going to get through this. You know, we're beginning to get more people vaccinated that then have had COVID. So we know, you know, that it's going in the right direction, and it will be wonderful when we're all together again. So we've just got that little bit more. I almost feel that we're in Noah's Ark with this sort of hibernation, and that, you know, we've come with that first twig of survival of going on for the future, and that it's not going to be far. You know, the R rate is finally going down, and that's great news, and the vaccines are finally going up, which is fantastic news. So all take care of yourself, and I just wanted to say that until we see. And thank you for all saying, this is my rainbow caftan, so it's huge, so but it goes all the way, all the colours. And I didn't do the rainbow healing today, I just thought I'd wear the rainbow healing. So wonderful to hear all of you. We're thinking of you. Take care. And I'll hand over to Ray, who'll probably be asking Ashley for the closing prayer.
Closing prayer, please, Ashley.
Thank you, Ashley.
Yeah, just before I do that, really interesting you mentioned about what brings us together and what unites us. At the inauguration, lots of people were wearing purple because it's the mix of blue and red. So they want to build the bridges between everyone.
Yes.
So when you want to think of continuity, when you want to think about connection with people, think of that purple.
Thank you, Ashley.
You're welcome. So if you want to close your eyes or bow your heads one more time. Divine Spirit, Mother, Father, God, we thank you for the blessed time together that we have been able to share. We thank you for allowing your Spirit to bring messages of comfort, support, acknowledgement and upliftment. And we ask that you help us be mindful of the words that have been said this day to help us go forward with strength, positivity and connection. Amen.
Amen. So mote it be, friends. Good morning. Have a good week. What's coming up? Those of you who wish to, I'm too old now, but go out and enjoy the snow. I know our grandchildren already do it, and our daughter and son-in-law are already gone out into Banstead Woods and playing with the snow with the dog. Sorry? Really? Well, it's about 3 inches thick in places here in Mediumship. So it's quite strange. It's probably the worst snow I've seen for about 10 years in London for me. So everyone have a good week. God go with you until we meet again. Cheerio. Bye-bye.